start with the opening of the presentation day with the topic, should Scotland be independent, yes or no? My name is Juan Agustin, I'm an international student at King's College Foundation. Thank you. So first of all, I would like to give you my outline of the presentation. So in my introduction, I will give you some background information, some definitions, the limitation, and my thesis. In my arguments, I would talk about the oil, the currency, the European Union, and the defence and trident if Scotland decide to leave the UK, yes or no. Then my conclusion. So introduction definition. I guess that you all know what's independence. It's like when a country decides to gain a region gains political freedom from outside control. What is the referendum? Referendum is when a public vote, they vote on a particular issue. Either like it can be against or with the law. What is the Scottish referendum? Anyone age of 16 years old can vote either Scotland should stay in the UK or should leave the UK. Okay, so the background information I would like to give you. Scotland has a 307-year union with the UK. First of all, Scotland joined the UK because they needed a boost in their economy 307 years ago. Scottish nowadays believe that the union don't provide doesn't provide their purpose anymore, and the British government do not provide their interest anymore. So first of all, now I would like to give you some of the advantages for Scotland if they want to leave the UK. So first of all, they believe that decisions are best made by people in Scotland for Scotch. Scotland can be a successful country on its own if the UK has like an illegal war. Why should Scotland be part of it if they don't have anything to do with it? So they believe that they shouldn't be part of it. North Sea oil revenue, I will talk about later, would be good, like to use it for families, education, etc. Scotland could adapt a different immigration policy, like they can accept more people or less people. They're free to decide whatever they want to do if they're independent. My thesis. So I think that if Scotland decides to be an independent country, it would be a gradual mistake, because first of all, the oil revenue wouldn't they wouldn't know for who and who owns it. It's a debate that has been for like a long time ago. Scots believe that, okay, I will speak about that later. They wouldn't know what currency Scotland would use if they leave the UK. The euro, keep the sterling, etc. And whether they would be able to join the EU, yes or no. Okay, some reason why Scotland should not be independent. Being part of the UK offers more economic security. Of course, as you can know, the UK is a very wealthy country, and Scotland being part of the UK is a really good point because they have a really good economy. Jobs could be lost because Scotland and UK has jobs in common. If they're not together, they might lose jobs. No one knows what currency Scotland would use. Of course, Scotland would have less influence in the world because it's a small country. Security is better handled in a UK-wide basis. The security in the UK is better than the Scottish, and they can help each other because the UK is like they share the same island. Okay, so this is the North Sea Oil. It's an oil and gas company that is in Scotland, the north of Scotland, and it's estimated that 84 to 90% of the oil in the north belongs to Scotland. Alex Salmond is the Prime Minister of Scotland. So this debate has been for like many years, and they're still not sure who should take it and who should benefit from it. In my opinion, Scotland would be screwed if they think that the revenue from the North Sea oil would buy its So Wood Mackenzie, it's an oil and gas company that it's around the world, estimated that the production of Scotland would be, in 2018, look at this graph, it will stay constant and start losing. Sir Ian Wood, the CEO, said that the North oil would be a significant factor anymore later on. When you will reach half your age, they say that the oil revenue wouldn't be beneficial anymore. And as you can see in this graph, in 2040, the oil revenue will bring no profit at all. The oil will decrease a lot and will be almost no profit at all. So if Scotland wants to depend on the oil, if they take the North Sea oil, they wouldn't have to. They wouldn't get profit anymore, so it's not beneficial. Any questions until now, guys? What about the currency? Mr. Solomon said that the currency they can adapt even if they leave the UK. That he says that they can still adapt the pound or adapt the euro. And Scotch believe that when you adapt your own currency, it brings pride and power to the country. Now I'm going to tell you why it's not possible. George Osborne, the first secretary, said that a current union is not considered. If UK and Scotland are not together, they said that it's impossible for Scotland to use the pound. The governor, Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, said it would be incompatible with sovereignty. It's impossible, from the nation to accept that somebody use their currency even if they're not in the country. Another two very good points that I want to mention is that Scotland's trade is far more integrated in the UK basis rather than in the rest of the Eurozone. In 2011, Scotland exported was 45.5 billion, while the export to the rest of the EU were only 11 billion. So if Scotland leaves the UK, of course the export and the jobs and everything will decrease, and I don't think that anyone would like that. And before adapting the euro, Scotland should be in the EU. What about the EU? So, if Scotland wants to leave the UK, and Scotland right now is in the EU because of the UK, they would have Mr. Jean-Claude Juncker, the new European Commission President, said that if Scotland leaves the UK, they will have to stay for 3.5 years before they enter the UK again. Sir Christopher Mayer, the ambassador, the ambassador to the United States, said that the Scottish membership to the EU would need the approval of member states. There is Spain, Germany, and Belgium. Welcome Scotland after the encouragement to Catalan, Basque, Flemish, and Bavarian. Those people are still dependent of Spain, Germany, and Belgium. Why would they want to say yes, Scotland should join the EU if they encourage other people to become independent? Okay. So still considering leaving the UK, Mr. Emmanuel Barroso, the procedure of the European Commission President, said it would be extremely difficult and maybe impossible for Scotland to join the EU. Mr. Douglas is the Labour Foreign Secretary, believes that being outside the EU for 5 years, imagine how many jobs for 5 years, how many jobs would people lose? Do you want to risk that? Ross Davidson, Troy leader, she's very angry in this picture, said that an independent Scotland would have to join the queue like the rest of the countries that has grown for 5 years, like every other thing, waiting to join the EU. Defense and Trident. Scotland and the UK share a nuclear defense. Okay? nationalists wants to remove Trident after 5 years of independence. They believe, like the people of the country, and they believe that they don't need the largest nuclear bases and the nuclear weapon in Europe. They prefer that the billions of dollars would be better spent on childcare. Better together, like they voted no, we don't want Scotland to be independent, said that Scottish would risk safety in the violent world. Second, Scotland would lose thousands of jobs in defense. Sharing an island, if they share an island together, it's really good because they both of each other can use their each defense, like Scotland and Russia and the UK. Russia and the threats of terrorism made the UK's defense more relevant. So now it's really important that they share the same land, the same island, and form this nuclear weapon. It's very important nowadays. Conclusion. So Scotland voted NAE, like they said, NAE, if you can say. 45% voted yes, 55 voted no. So the result was no, Scotland should stay with the UK as a one hand and not face the problems of the oil, the defense and Trident, the currency, and the EU. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Thank you for your presentation, Juan. How would you explain the very small majority for the no vote last year? What do you think that the most significant factor was in that decision, in the referendum?
The EU.
So no for the Scottish independence vote. Why do you think the vote was so... Yeah, it's such a tight vote. What do you think the main reason for that was?
This debate, it was a long time ago, and they're still debating. And as you can see, there is in every decision, two different people make two different choices. I think it's good that they voted no for the reasons they want to. I saw a picture yesterday. It's very interesting. Humans are free and happy until race disconnected us, politicians separated us, and it was a really nice picture. I want to show you later. And religion separated us. So if we people try to avoid those stuff, I think we can really be happy again.
Could I ask does what you're saying change in the context of the upcoming EU referendum?
Sorry?
How does the upcoming EU referendum impact on what you're saying?
The EU referendum, that if they couldn't join the EU anymore, if they would have to be a dependent country, have their own freedom, they would have to leave the EU and then apply it from scratch.
The point is, there's going to be a referendum in this country whether to leave the EU.
Yep. And
if we vote to leave and Scotland votes to stay, what are the implications of that for independence?
If we decide to stay in the EU, if we decide to leave the EU, and Scotland wants to stay in the EU, really nice question. I don't have the exact answer for this question, but I would